So it usually starts with the Pujayeshwar Vishwankam Bhaskaram Bhuvaneshwar is a sloka from Aditya Hridayam. What it means is worship the sun, the source of all, and the owner of this universe. It's not mythology, it's real science. That statement is real science. We get all the energy, solar energy, and the wind. Wind is like the heat. Because of the heat, the hot air goes up, the cold air comes in. That is concentrated second order solar energy. Water evaporates, comes down as rain, and flows in the rivers. This is also second order, highly concentrated solar energy. The food what we eat is all plants and animals, comes from photosynthesis. I don't have to explain all that here. If you take all the elements in the periodic table, they're all manufactured with the fusion reaction happening in sun or stars like sun. Everything, all the matter is stardust. Everything which is moving is solar energy. Everything which is matter is stardust coming from sun. So that statement, Pujayeshwar Vishwankam Bhaskaram Bhuvaneshwar, is a scientific statement. Coming to that, what you see there is not a sun, it's a propeller which looks like a sun. So we can harvest solar, hydro, and wind energy with that. And we can also drive boat, ships, submarines, underwater drones, and flying drones. So we can harvest the ultimate source and drive with that energy. So this is our propeller, which looks like the sun. And the center hub is the sun, and the blades of the light waves. So I'll get to some basics. This is a 14th century Leonardo da Vinci invention. We are using it for land. There's a Russian tanker which can go like with a screw propelled vehicle, it goes on the land. And the same screw propeller we use in the air, and the same screw propeller we use on the water. For one rotation, the amount of distance it goes forward is 1 pitch. If you take the wheel of the same size, as pitch is 1 unit, and here the radius is 2 units. So if it rotates, screw propeller will go forward by only 1 pitch. But for one rotation, a wheel will move forward by 10 to 15 times. To cover the same distance, a screw propeller has to run 10 to 15 times. That's why it's very noisy. And on top of that, it cuts through the medium, like at 90 degrees. It cuts through the water or air, and it kills fish, birds, insects, anything which are on the ground. The fact is, we have wheels only on land. The so-called advanced modern science has forgotten the wheels in both air and water. You don't have it. And the SunPlower propeller is a fundamental groundbreaking invention of this wheel in both air and water. So this is what we are doing in air and water. It's a scoop. We're not using wheels. We are using screws in air and water. Just to show how primitive it is. Of course, it has some advantages. It can do offshore very well. But this is how a screw on land will look like. But this is exactly the same screw technology we are using in both in air and water. We humans don't know about the wheel in air and water and what are the advantages which can bring in. And we don't know how much we don't know, and we also don't know what we don't. But we don't have wheels in air and water. So the screw is axial. It goes in the direction of the axis, and we get the thrust in the opposite direction, same as the table fan. If you want to change the direction, you have to change the whole axis. You all know the table fan. You have to change the whole axis. So, but whereas the wheel is 360-degree radial thrust. If you touch the wheel at the bottom and rotate it clockwise, it goes right. The same wheel, if you touch it on the top, rotate it clockwise, it goes left. If you touch it on the left, And rotating clockwise, it goes down. And touch it on the right, and rotating clockwise, it goes up. So based on the touching point, you can change the direction of the wheel 360-degree radial, not axial. Screw is axial. So this is how we do it with SunPlower propeller. At the bottom is horizontal, is a low drag, and on the top is the friction point. If you rotate it clockwise, the fluid is pushed to the right and you get the thrust to the left. Same way we push down by changing the angle of the blades. So like that we can get 360-degree radial thrust with this wheel propulsion technology. You can do that in both air and water, not only for power generation but also for thrust generation. So this was done about 100 years ago in cylindrical form, and 2017 the University of Siegen also did it. In 2017, this is from Christian Boeing. It's the same Boeing company, done it 100 years ago. And we are the world's first to make it in the cone shape, where all the mechanical gears and all the electronic sensors, everything is put on the tip of the cone where the radius is 0. It's so very compact and scalable. And we fabricated in more than 60 countries actually. So many people, many mechanical experts, they say like, oh, this is impossible. How did we do it? Oops, I skipped one slide. We say like, oh, we didn't know that it was impossible. That's why we did it. So there are many advantages. It's radial 360-degree radial and also very low noise, and at the same time we get very low cavitation. And it's eco-friendly, it doesn't cut the fish or birds or insects in the air. So you can see this is an example where there's a live measurement that we put a plastic bag and a long ribbon in the water where the propeller is rotating. Usually a screw propeller will just suck it in and it will just screw it up. But this being a wheel doesn't get stuck. It's same like you have a plastic bag on the road and your wheel or car or bike wheel rolls over it. It's same like that in water. And this changes, it's a big advantage for many marine applications. It's wheel propulsion, 360-degree radial. So the applications what we are working on is charging station on a boat. There are 60 million fishing electric boats running on diesel. They're paying around 4 to 5 lakhs per month only for diesel. So we technically electric boats are possible, but practically charging stations is a limitation. So we can enable charging station directly on the boats. Market boys. Only 6 hours of sunlight. You need to put 18 hours of backups battery if you are running on solar. But most of the time you have wind. And this underwater drone, we are developing this for Indian Navy. And this is the coral bot. We added this our propeller to NIO's coral bot. And the testing and validation is going on right now. And it runs very smoothly like a fish, like it goes horizontally like this and pushes back. Just like a fish at very low RPM. It's around 20 RPM. It's impossible for a screw propeller to go at that speed. Literally no noise. You can make big boats, submarines at 30-40 RPM at literally no noise. You can make a U-turn on the spot. You can make this also for big submarines. And if you scale it. You can do. And this is we are working on this. We have a demonstration piece here in the 5th stall. It's a quad bot. We call it also kurma, like a turtle or tortoise. It can crawl in the beach and go into the water. It can also crawl at the bottom of the ocean. Screw propeller, you can forget it. Any seaweed or any plastic bags at the bottom of the ocean will be sucked and it will get destroyed everything. But we can do that. We're the only ones who can do that in this way. And this is our R&D center still under construction. By end of March, it will be finished. So we have our own pool for underwater drone testing. And L-shaped one is our wind tunnel for doing all hydro. This is the left side is hydro, on the right side L-shaped one is the platform for wind tunnel testing. And we are the world's first to have design, fabrication, assembly, and test all in one location. So we have our CNC machine, 3-axis, 5-axis, and 9-axis, metal 3D printing, EDM marketing, all machines in one shop. So usually the design cycles usually take 3 to 4 months. We do design cycles in weeks. This what we are showing here is this, from idea to this place we did it in 2.5 months. Because we have all equipment within our reach in the same campus. And the last one actually. This technology, after filing the patent, I got to know from a professor from the Great University of Berlin that there is similar technology in Oriental Science book. Initially I didn't believe it, but afterwards we digged into it. And we found out this technology was known and used more than 6,000 years ago in our Vedic texts. I was shocked, literally. We had so much of treasure in our own text, ancient texts, that we just call it as mythology or pseudoscience. It's not the case. Please look into that. You can recover a lot of innovations and technologies from it. It's a treasure. We are sitting on it, but we're not doing anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shiva. Just what before he comes on stage, I said, if you have anything, ideas, he said, come to any one of these our exhibitors or sponsors. And I think most of you are, I think this is one of the stall which have been thronged by most of the students as well, because it's something they are new, right? So with this, I thank SunPlower and request for a small felicitations.
This is